Hello, I'm Ms. Rochelle Eder, and I'm going to discuss to you the last part of the subject, Curriculum Development and Supervision. In the previous chapters, we discussed about the different designs of curriculum and instruction and its principles. We also learned that instructional design specialists are often instructors or professionals who develop educational system for academic purposes. The current trend is to view instructional design as a team effort of several individuals who are involved in the educational process. A great deal of discourse and debate exists, both professional and political, regarding standards of educational system. To properly address such claims and discourse, we must clear out in mind what is the covered or mandated standard is anchored on both curriculum and instruction. Some researches demonstrate or evaluate the connection between curriculum and instruction. If these components work together to deliver a consistent message about what should be taught and assessed, students will have the opportunity to learn and truly demonstrate what they need to achieve. In the Philippine educational settings, standards are set and follow specific criteria before a material can be published. Standards are presented in many ways. We have the so-called content standards and performance standards. The first challenge understands what each term means. It is difficult to define all the keywords without the terms overlapping because they are both interconnected and anchored to each other. On the other hand, both standards work together to attain its goals and objectives. It is therefore important that we understand the different types of standards so as to differentiate between the two. Content standard cannot be compromised or negotiable. It indicates what students should know and should be able to do. For example, students should be able to write and speak for a variety of purposes and for diverse audience, using conventional grammar, usage, sentence structure, punctuation, and spelling. On the other hand, a performance standard is negotiable or can be modified based from the learning environment and availability of a certain locality. And that is what we call contextualization. It measures how well a student's work and meets the content standard. Furthermore, performance standard is leveled as advanced, proficient, novice, and basic. Students' performance is being measured through criteria called rubrics, which describe the student work must consist of to get a certain score. Rubrics or performance standards list is one of the characteristics of the student. For example, problem solving in mathematics or persuasive writing in English language arts. All examples of problem solving or persuasive writing, no matter what topic it is, should contain these kind of characteristics. Every academic subject requires a project. It is one way to assess students' knowledge and learning regarding the subject matter. It enables learners to connect the importance of classroom learning scenario to a real-life situation. Students' performance transpires in their project or output because it serves as a vehicle to understanding key principles and concepts as well as the development of dispositions leading to reality of life. It leads to a wide range of students' interests and abilities and requires an active and sustained engagement over extended period of time to promote links, disciplines, and can erode subject boundaries. Furthermore, a project is a method whereby students work together through a series of culminating activities in the completion of something tangible, for example, the artifact, media, and performance. It serves also as a form of individualization, whereby learners choose and work on projects and activities that facilitate and work or support his development of skills and knowledge. In the fall of 1918, William Herd Kilpatrick published an influential essay entitled The Project Method, which is what we call now the flow. And this caught the attention of the American educators. Kilpatrick focused attention on the importance of students' engagement and the student-chosen purposeful act of learning. According to him, the goal of project was to foster student motivation by allowing students to determine the purposes they wanted to pursue. Another researcher is in the name of Dewey, who thought that projects should derive from the students' interests rather than the logic of the steps in instruction, and that's carried out according to 1997. For Dewey, rather than a vehicle for the exercises of skill development, the project was a means for bringing up the spirit and conditions of modern life into the school. These researchers influenced a number of educators who valued the project as a vehicle for skill development and progress. This led to the notion of the project as a product or thing to be developed, and of course, to serve as the method of instruction for disclosing the workings of life. Another important factor in the curriculum that we must take into consideration is unit. The term unit is defined as a long-term activity within instructional context and generally takes the form of the unit study. It also meant a large block of related subject matter which provided a theme, combined with activities, problems, and projects over several weeks to generate understandings of the theme and related knowledge. For example, in Morrison's youth theme, the form of a unit is divided into 5 steps. The first step is the so-called exploration. Teachers assess the students' previous knowledge through pre-tests and reviews. The second one is presentation. The teacher presented and discussed the content of the topic. The third is assimilation, a collaborative activities of the students, whether individualized or small group work together with the teachers or the teacher who evaluates afterwards. Or the fourth one is organization. Teacher generalized or organized knowledge represents unit and a theme through socialized interaction and activity. The fifth one is the so-called recitation. This is also called the product output of the students, wherein they demonstrate activities or attitudes, knowledge to showcase their skills through performance output. In fact, a curriculum unit can be structured to suit each child's developmental needs and benefit children through memory retention to be able to retain more information from a unit study than from the books or lessons alone. This is especially useful when teaching multiple grade levels or children with special needs. Many parents also find it easier to teach children using curriculum units as opposed to more traditional methods. These are several ways to teach unit studies, making them adaptable to various teaching styles as well. A curriculum unit can be structured to allow both the students and teachers to study or focus on most important topics and skills in greater depth. Unit studies typically revolve around a central theme, such as lessons and activities that are carefully designed and structured to fit this theme. Thank you so much and good day.